You got to look back at the last 10 years before you look forward to the next 10 years. If you're asking me, is there one specific thing we're going to do? No, not right now. There's not. Again, I hate to keep harping about the budget, but we were forced to go back and look at what our core services are and what we provide. And our core services are answer 911 calls, investigate crimes, and keep public order. But beyond that, and that's where we went back to in June. This is what we're going to do.
Right.
And everything else is based on that. So to tell you, is there anything, one specific thing? No, not right now. But I would challenge you. We look at trends every 2 weeks, and unfortunately, policing, and we still have to be the majority of the time reactive instead of proactive, and that's just reality. That's just the way it is. We will never have enough cops to become that truly proactive. There's certain areas we can be proactive in, and certain things I think we tried to be proactive, like with quality of life measures and things like that, and that's been pretty successful. But I think from those, I think 10 years from now is really very nebulous. I think in some areas, especially in some of the specialized investigation areas, we are top notch and we are cutting edge. If we are behind, it's the mundane report writing and producing reports and producing files for that. Investigative-wise, equipment-wise, we are cutting edge.
The Gwinnett County Police Department has capabilities that, in my opinion, exceed the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and rival some of the federal agencies. That we have trained folks, we have equipment, we have the ability to break encrypted data streams. They can get things out of computers that are just remarkable. The same thing that in our narcotics and SIS, we have surveillance capabilities and first-rate, top-of-the-line electronic interception capabilities, photography, those types of things. From the perspective of presenting the evidence in court, I agree. We're still typing police reports on word processors, and there's an automatic delay in that. One of the great struggles that he has and that we have is you got police responding to crimes, investigating crimes, and then they have to take a day a week to write reports. They have to take a day a week to process the reports, and so they're not. Whereas we could, if we got into this data stream, we could start moving that along. The other thing that, as a prosecutor, that Charlie and I have talked about is increasing our capabilities forensically, in the sort of CSI type of thing, and we've made tremendous strides in that. We've moved to digital photography as opposed to the old 35 millimeter. We've moved to, our folks are trained as doing fingerprint analysis. They're trained to do marijuana testing. They're trained to do all the things you see on CSI. They can stick the rods in the walls and figure out trajectories of bullets. We've made tremendous strides in that. I think as we move forward in the next 10 years, there's going to be an increased emphasis on that. But from the prosecutor's perspective, I think my role, as far as the community is concerned, is to make sure that people understand that we're prepared to prosecute cases. We're prepared to give sentences that deter crime. We're prepared to basically look at any case without favor or favoritism, or no group gets shafted and no group gets a break. And I've always believed that. I've always believed that as a prosecutor, I should basically review the case without looking at who's the defendant or the color of their skin or anything else, and I should prosecute cases.
Both he and I never missed a chance to tout this, is the relationship between the police department and the DA's office. I mean, he and I have been friends for 30 years, but we've worked together for 30 years, and even prior to that, the relationship between the county police and the DA's office has always been, at least in those 30 years, has been very good, and that makes a difference. There is not that infighting. There is not us versus them. There's a lot of places where I promise you would not get the DA and police chief sitting in the same interview, let alone talking about how we understand how each other works or what we have to do to fix each other. I think the public needs to be aware, and I think the public, I would hope that they appreciate that. There's enough other problems in the criminal justice system that you got to deal with, that you don't need the head prosecutor and the head of the largest police department, one of the largest in the state, fighting with each other or arguing about or not having a unified direction. Now, we disagree on things, but I think our hearts are in the right place, and that we understand that this is a team effort. And I think the public, we've always been very proud of that. And I think that's something said, because like I said, it wouldn't take very far to go down the road here and see that doesn't exist a lot of places.
Overall, you try and do the job the best you can with the resources that you have, and in the end, you've built that reputation. And that's what I've tried to do the whole time I've been in the offices. Is I don't get involved in the politics. I run the best office I can, the fairest office I can, and the rest of it just sort of follow.